All right, so today we're going to talk about the Made In website, specifically their homepage and their product page. If you're not familiar, Made In is a cookware company. I'm a customer, so I thought it might be fun to focus on them today. So, first off, I think they actually recently updated their site because it looked a little different before, and they were leading with this video, which is now over here in their studio section, kind of like some B-roll combo of showing off like famous chefs using their products. I kind of preferred that version in the hero. I felt like for me, someone who really like knows and respects all of these people, it was just like such a big stamp of approval to see their faces and see them using the products and all that. So I kind of prefer that, but I'm also, it's cool that they're switching it up and trying out a different, version of that in their background here. I think anytime you have white text on top of a video, it can be a little bit hard to read. So in that case, I would probably usually skip the subheadline just because it's kind of difficult to read in that small font. This is a little bit more legible, but again, like even against all the moving imagery, it's still kind of hard to read. So sometimes you want to put like just some kind of back piece behind the text or change, there's different ways you can do it, but I find that just to be like a little distracting. So up here in their hero area, or in their navigation rather, I think it's pretty straightforward. They have a shop all, they have cookware. I do feel like, with this drop down and then these items up here, it feels like a lot is going on. Like I think that they could definitely trim out some of the stuff in and with this up here as well. There's just so many different kind of distracting components. I feel like if they could simplify this a little bit, like maybe they don't need these items here and they can live in the footer. Maybe they can simplify this drop down a little bit. Do we have to sort by shape? Is materials enough? These are just questions. I don't know the answer because I don't know their customers and the inner workings of their business, but just kind of things to keep in mind. Another thing too is like something like this studio, it doesn't really tell you what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen if I click there. So from a user standpoint, it's not really clear. And even though there's actually like a ton of content in there that would be interesting to me, I wouldn't know that just from that navigational label alone, which is another reason why it's good to focus on clear copy in your navigation. Here's another kind of part of their nav that could potentially be simplified, maybe moving some of this stuff to the footer. I do feel like a catch-all like this, learn, and then shoving all this stuff in here that, I'm not really sure belongs into this catch-all category. I think there could be a better way to organize this to make it clearer and more engaging to the user. Like, here's some options you might be interested in, and kind of highlighting those a little bit better instead of just like stuffing them into this like one big old drop down. All right, so let's keep going down here. I love that you can jump right into different products. There's different ways to sort. I like the animation when you hover. I think this is pretty typical of an e-commerce site where they've got different sort of ways in from, different product highlights to seasonal stuff, that kind of thing. I do love this. This is so impressive. I kind of feel like they could put this up a little higher. Like maybe this could be in the hero or like just below the hero, just to reinforce for those who are new to the brand and don't know truly how amazing clearly this product is and how popular it is. I do think it could be worth, experimenting with something like that. Love the ability to shop by category. Again, very typical of ecom. This section I would have put up higher. Again, I just feel like as someone who's really into cooking and like knows all these people, wouldn't it be great to have them up higher and really prove and build trust right off the bat? I would have put that up higher, maybe even above this, just because, again, I just feel like maybe, do we need all three of these? And actually it's four, because you've got this, then you have 1, 2, 3, then you have another shop category. So, it's like, is it all necessary? Is it possible to kind of simplify, trim out one of these and then put this up a little higher, right? That's an option. I think this, just given their brand, makes sense here. It's sort of like that little like about moment that's further down the page typically. I think this is a good place for it. It would I would maybe use like a little bit of different copy to get people to engage because the image isn't exactly like, wow, I can't wait to dive in. It's just like a black and white picture of like what looks like machinery. So it could probably be a little bit more interesting, at least in the thumbnail and with the copy as well, potentially. Okay, we have another shop moment, seasonal stuff. And then I love this too, like what to make, showing off recipes, using the product is always really great, right? I love the fact that it's a little carousel. You can scroll through and then also see more options. And then let's see what's below. Whoops. And then below that, they have a founder's note. So again, another like about moment. So in my head, I'm thinking, do we need both? Like you've got one here, then you have the commitment to craftsmanship. Like I think if I were this brand, like I would consider simplifying and maybe just having one instead of two, and maybe focusing a little bit more on the user versus like us as the company. But I understand why they made the choice. It's just kind of what I would potentially make as a recommendation. And I like the option here. You can get in touch with their team really easily. That's really cool. All right, let's pop over to a product page really quick. I just want to show you what I like about this. So, really typical e-commerce product page here. They've got the reviews up top here that you can click into. The information about the product, you can easily toggle between options. They've got you have an upsell here, an add to cart, they're calling out the shipping, a couple of like high level product points, health and safety. Obviously this is going to be something people are concerned about. Love this, being able to see it in action. This is something we're seeing a lot more of these days is, almost like TikTok or Instagram style content with the product page, right? So you're able to click in there and start seeing someone using the product. Love this. And then we have the longer description. It's a little long for me. I feel like you could probably trim out some of this, but I appreciate the detailedness. And then, everything else is pretty standard and straightforward. Love a section with some highlights, right? Like all these different things that might be important to the end user, calling those out with visuals. Like I think that's really great. More social proof, so showing where this has been featured, who's endorsing it, all those amazing reviews again, so reinforcing the decision to purchase, again using the authority with these well-known chefs in combination with the social proof above, I think is really effective. Let's see what else we've got here. And then they have their commitment to craftsmanship. So I feel like, okay, this makes sense here. I think towards the bottom of the page is where it probably belongs, some FAQs. And then I'm loving this too. Again, more options of ideas for what to cook, recipes, so cool. And then we have, if you were to click customer reviews above, you would drop you down to this section where you can just dive right in. And then a pretty typical of e-com, giving us other options that are similar or related to shop. So that's what I love about the Made In homepage and product page, but also some ideas for possible changes or upgrades. So hope you found this video helpful. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Comment below.